Are you looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/bluewire and use code BLUEWIRE. That's code BLUEWIRE at prizepicks.com/bluewire for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Hello, fellow weirdos. Good gravy. I'm too old for this. It is 12:15. I want to say it's Wednesday morning at this point. Yeah, it's Wednesday morning. December 7th, the Dallas Mavericks just outlasted the Phoenix Suns in a really highly entertaining game. Lots of fouls, lots of weirdness. But what I think is probably the best win of the Dallas Mavericks season. Second night of a back-to-back, second straight night against a really good Western Conference team, second straight victory. So I feel very good. Ethan, friendo, you always come in here dumping on something or other. Come on, have a little fun, man. The Suns are 14-10. They're 14-9 before tonight, all right? They're pretty good. I had a great time watching that. Now, Mavericks are just blistering from behind the line lately. It is a hilarious positive regression. Tim Hardaway Jr. Just cooking from deep, which is just so funny after we watched him for the better part of a year and a half not hit anything. So this has been fun. So why don't we do this? Why don't we bring some folks up here? We'll talk about the things we liked, anything we didn't like. Which, you know, I would suppose that the only thing I really didn't like in that game was Tim Hardaway missing the free throws after being just so scorching for the whole game. But I'm interested to hear what anybody else has to say. So invite yourself up and let's talk a little shop. So coming up first is Armand. What's happening, guy?
How's it going?
It's good. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's I got home. I followed the game. I landed at 9 from my flight, which was the start of the game, and then followed the game a little bit in the airport, and then watched, and then followed on my phone on the way home. Get home at halftime, watch the second half of the game here, and I basically finished unpacking my bags when the Mavericks called the first time out of 9 minutes in the third quarter after the Suns going on a run. I was like, oh great, this is me pulling a Dalton Trigg and causing the Mavericks the game. But yeah, it was a fun game. Really, really punchy. These teams look like they were kind of sick of each other's shit by the end of it.
Yeah, and honestly, the way, even though it was pretty back and forth, this was just one of the games where I just wasn't feeling very stressed out.
Really?
Usually, yeah, because I just think the fact that it was pretty entertaining and that even if we lost this, I don't think it's anything that we should have been too upset about because we are playing it back to back. But I mean, hey, we came out with the win. And it's crazy that we've really turned it around these past few games, and it's all been just because Tim Hardaway Jr. has been playing good.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that he's been the X factor for our team? But I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it.
And it's so funny because it's I keep sending out these quasi sarcastic tweets about hey, every team in the NBA could use Tim Hardaway Jr. But he's with how well he's shooting, it just becomes one of these things where it's like, well, we can't live without Tim when he's shooting well, but then when he's not shooting well, everyone wants to ship him to Alcatraz. It's so funny.
When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's terrible.
Jeremy in the chat, Timmy is kind of like a free agent for us.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying. I saw that on Twitter too. But the free throws, man. The free throws.
Well, so until Timmy missed those, the team was 27 for 29 from the line.
Yeah, it's still 87.1%. But man, like when like I feel like maybe we were just spoiled by Rick Carlisle always having us as a good free throw shooting team.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've watched Timmy miss a lot. Like, I bet if someone was to do a deep dive into Tim's like clutch time free throws, he's kind of stinky. I was at a game in DC several years ago. I remember this because I met Reese from the Mavs Outsiders pod in an elevator after the game, and Tim missed 2 free throws to cause us to lose to the Wizards when they were bad. So it's just like Timmy just is, I don't know. He's built for the crazy bullshit shot, but if it's quiet and silent, never feels like it's going to go down.
I know, man. For a second, I really thought Jamal Murray was going to hit that shot, though. I'm not going to lie. Hilarious. That would have been a nice night if he made that on this podcast.
Yeah, no, we all would have been so mad.
I do have one thing to say though, regarding Reggie Bullock. I know he's probably not listening, but if you're listening to this, the clock is ticking. Like, gotta do something, otherwise, not gonna be on the team anymore.
See, we were so sick of his shit at this point last year too. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was quite this terrible last year, but I also don't think he played as many minutes.
But it just feels like he still had an impact though on the defensive end. Right now, it just doesn't. It just feels like he's just doing cardio. Like, I don't like what is he really bringing to the team right now?
I don't know. I do hate the high screen and like the guard screen and rolls they run with Reggie, because if Reggie's not going to shoot, and more importantly, he's not going to make.
And he only played 14 minutes tonight too, so that's a sign that Jason Kidd is also feeling the same way too.
Well, it's funny because while we're getting into some of the deeper stuff, tonight was a good example of how Josh Green has a little bit of a struggle bus getting onto the floor. He had 4 fouls and I want to say 17 minutes of action. He just he gets called for a lot of fouls. I don't feel like some of the things that he's getting called fouls for are fouls, but he's third year.
Yeah, there were some very interesting calls on both sides today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, refing was weird.
Very, very interesting.
I think the Mavs got lucky with a couple. I'm like, Jamal Murray got called for a travel at one point where I watched it 4 times. I'm like, what is this?
So, exactly. And then that's one thing with Reggie Bullock is that because of how good Josh Green has been, obviously it's gonna take away from Reggie's minutes, and now you're thinking that you eventually want to give Jaden Hardy an opportunity. Maybe not this season, but maybe in the future. So
sure.
I think trading Bullock will open up for that. And then at the same time, maybe you can just get a guy who can contribute to the team, and maybe he's an expiring contract. So I'm open to the idea of trading Reggie Bullock, because I just he was phenomenal last season for us. I don't think we would have made it at that far if it wasn't for his defense and his 3-point shooting. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta let somebody go, and if he's not bringing anything to the table, then yeah. What Ethan just said, that's what I was telling my friends too. I mean, give him till January, but the clock is ticking, so he's got to do something. Otherwise,
let him go on vacation. Yeah. Send him to a retreat. Send him to Josh Green Island. Let him relax.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I got tonight. I mean, great win. Hopefully we can keep this up and take Milwaukee down too.
That'd be fun. That's going to be a fun game. I mean, I have zero expectations after these 2 wins, because it just back-to-back wins. Suns, Denver would be great. Beating the Bucks would be something else. Mm-hmm. So
exactly.
All right, man. Well, thanks for hanging out and starting us off.
So, yeah. All right. Have a good one.
Yep. Okay. Coming up next, Chris. What's up?
Hey,
Chris?
Kirk. How's it going?
It's going. What are you thinking?
So I was thinking last time I talked about after the Knicks game, I was not worried about these tough teams coming up. I'm telling you, even tonight, I just felt like we were playing with house money. Obviously, the second night of a back-to-back in Denver, it seems like it's an impossible game to win. I don't know how in the hell they did it. Well, I mean, I know it's Tim Hardaway Jr. making 6 threes.
Well, Luka was ass for a big portion of the game, and they still won. Like, that feels as important as anything else that happened tonight.
The other guys step up. That's all it is. Just if they make their wide open shots. And
the box score looks like an NBA box score. When what I mean by that is, like, when you go check out other teams that have people that score in double digits, like all 5 of the Denver starters scored in double digits. Mavericks had 4 of the 5. And there are many games this year where that's not the case.
And shooting 27 for 31 from the free throw line, I mean, good Lord, such a big difference between what it was. And actually that last free throw, it might have been planned to be missed. And it probably helped us that he did miss that free throw because that wasted an extra second or two, I think, off the clock.
Sure.
But yeah. I'm happy about Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm happy for him. I hope he keeps raising that trade stock because no matter how good he plays, unless he wins us a championship, I want him to be traded.
I understand, man.
But
so glad to see him.
Yeah, and with Bullock having another 0-point night, I can't see on defense how I just don't see what they're trying to do with him, other than try to raise his trade stock as well. But man, if we get a win on Friday, I mean, we got 2 days off playing a tough team. I don't think it's a national TV game, but still, it's going to be a home game. If we can win this one, I mean, I think we're really going to really think about how different we are compared to what we were a couple weeks ago.
Well, I mean, it's just like I still just don't know what to believe because I just did the math real quick. The Mavs have hit 25 more threes over this last 3-game win streak than their opponents, and
consistency is key. And then we got the Thunder and the Bulls coming up, and they're not all that great. So yeah, we got to take care of these bad teams.
Thunder, I hate playing the Thunder.
I know, man. It's like it seems like Dort. It seems like Dort shoots for like 90% from the 3-point line.
Dort also bodies the shit out of Luka. That's tough.
But anyway, just keep this streak going. We're on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah, just keep it going, and hopefully we can just rack up some more wins against good teams.
Sure. All right, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Kirk.
Got to read you guys a non-Mavs related stat that was just shared in the Mavs Moneyball Slack. At the halftime of the Cavs game, Joey Chestnut ate 47 pierogies. The other 3 guys he took on ate a combined 33 pierogies. That is disgusting. Okay, coming up next, let's go with my man. We're going to get some East Coast folks in here so they can go to bed. Ewan, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Tired.
Yeah, man. 128 over here, but, stayed up for the Mavs party. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent.
But, yeah, along with Chris, what he was saying, I was hoping, it would have been the third quarter would have been like, the next game, and we just came out and punched them in their mouth. But, a win is a win, especially being, playing in Denver. And you can see it on Luka body language from the beginning of the game. It just felt like offensively, it wasn't going to be that kind of game for him. You could just the way they was playing, doubling him pretty much the whole game. It was just not going to be that night. So it was good to see everybody stepping up.
I was pleased with that too. Dorian was the one that really made me happy because I've been a little frustrated with him lately. And again, it's just you kind of go through everybody. I thought Wood kind of played a quietly very nice game. +9, led the team in that category. Had a couple of really nice passes. He does some weird stuff with this shot where he like hangs in the air. He's got the long wingspan, and where he found Maxey for that kind of like dunk right underneath the basket was great. There's a lot of little fun things from this game. The defensive stuff when the Nuggets are scoring on you, I have a hard time getting too frustrated with it because the Nuggets are like the Warriors for me in that they play kind of slightly differently than everybody else. Like once Jokic gets that ball in the mid post against just about anybody, it feels like they're gonna score.
Really it's like Christian Wood has a weird, like once he jumps in the air, it's like somehow, some way he just makes the basket. He's just weird. Once he jumps, he's just unorthodox, but somehow, some way he makes it in.
That's right.
And then I was just looking at the halftime on TNT because I watched the game on Bally, but I'm like, I'm gonna switch over to halftime to see what these guys are talking about. And it's like, I'm like, what game are they watching?
I don't know. That feels somebody tweeted me and said it feels like they pre-recorded the segment.
Yeah, it's like how you could say about Jokic making that pass to KCP for the layup, and Luka did the same pretty much exact outlet pass to someone else, and you're gonna say Luka needs to do that.
Yeah.
But then going back to that, it's like we don't have players that can really run the fast break like that when they get the ball in their hands. So it's like, okay, Joker could outlet the ball to KCP, who could actually try to do something. Bruce Brown can try to do something. Aaron Gordon can try to do something. Who's Luka outletting it to in the starting lineup? Finney Smith, Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I still like the discussion point because it does feel like sometimes Luka gets the ball and is like, I'm going to do a casual survey for 4 seconds. I feel both ways about it.
Yeah, you're right on that part. And lastly, with Bullock, I mean, as bad as he's playing, it's like you have to have him from games like this where Josh Green just, plays like Josh Green, like 2 points, 2 rebounds. You kind of need that other defender present for games like this. So it's like, as much as we want to ship him out, we haven't seen enough from Josh Green to fully say, all right, he's just solidified, 30-plus minute guy per night, every night to, fully ship out Bullock. Because nights like this is going to happen. Like he said, he doesn't really get the respect from the refs like that. So they're going to call him for a lot of stuff that's not technically foul. So unless he continues trending upward for the rest of the season, you kind of have to rely on Bullock for that, that extra help that you're going to need against these big-time players, especially coming up on Friday. You're going to need that. You're going to need them fouls.
It's true, because you just need, like, the warm bodies against Giannis.
Yeah.
Every time I think about playing the Bucks, it's like, who's going to guard Giannis? It's who's going to try to, it ends up being like Maxey or somebody, but it's just such a monster problem.
I'm pretty sure J-Kid is saying to everybody, up yours right now.
Right. For sure.
All right, man. Thanks. See you on Friday.
Soon.
This is advertiser content brought to you by Frito-Lay.
Hello, I'm Chip Murphy, here to get you ready for the big tournament. Tonight we'll break down who will be cutting. Cut! What are you two doing?
Sorry, Chip. Prez here got his feathers ruffled when I told him Ruffles has 0 chance of winning the title.
And I was letting Dip know that she is not taking into account Ruffles' iconic ridges.
Guys, it's March. We have to start talking about the tournament.
We are. It is the 2023 Frito-Lay Snack It.
We're talking about big-time matchups between Cheetos, Smart Food, Lay's, Sun Chips, and more.
Just head to the Frito-Lay Snack Bracket and vote for your favorite chip, pretzel, or dip for a chance to win up to $1,000 or a year's worth of snacks.
This sounds great. Keep up the good work.
Just go to fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 4/3/2023. Void where prohibited. Year's worth of snacks awarded in the form of 52 coupons, each good for 1 bag of chips. See official rules at fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com.
All right, coming up next, then we're going to go to my other East Coast man, Drew. Then we got somebody from across the planet we got to get to who's up in the middle of the night like a lunatic.
Hey,
Drew, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you. Luka made some really ass decisions in the fourth quarter. It was
like four straight possessions of bad. I mean,
that when he went into the paint there and had this wide open 5-foot shot, and he decides he's going to pass. I screamed at the top of the lungs sitting here in my living room. Luka, shoot the fucking ball. Yeah. I mean, I was just like, what the? They literally parted the sea for him, and he's trying to make some pass somewhere and throws it to one of the. I mean,
and then he took 2 fadeaways after that.
Exactly. And
come on,
get your head down and get in the paint. Another thing is I kind of want to point out, and this seems to be a theme for me with Luka at the end of halves and the end of games. He just dribbles down until the point where he takes a 3-pointer 10 feet behind the line. He's done this several times this season now, and I just want him to go. I mean, it's like, well, I got to take it all the way down 2 seconds and then shoot wherever I'm at, and typically I'm 10 feet. That one where, at the end of the first half, they're tonight. I mean, literally, he had the ball. There was like 3 seconds he was dribbling, and it looked like he was going to go for the paint, and then he just dribbles over in that corner again and shoots the shot 10 feet behind the line. I'm like go to the basket on that. I don't know, but he's Luka, and he's great, and I'll take him every day. But boy, those were some ass decisions in the fourth quarter, and
I'm glad we survived them, because otherwise that's all we'd be talking about in here.
Yeah, and I've had enough of Dorian and Timmy, trying to dribble into the paint. Just shoot your open shots and everything like that. And if you get in the paint, let somebody pass you the ball. But when they start dribbling in the trade and trying to create, bad things happen.
All right, man.
Like
well, thanks for hanging out.
Fish out of water. All right. Thanks, Kirk. I'll
talk soon.
Talk.
All right, my man, hit the unmute button. Algis, how you doing?
Hi, Kirk. How is it going?
What time is it in Slovenia? What are you doing?
It's I'm doing fine, thanks. It's nice. It's 8:30 in the morning, so
okay,
it's
you're
good
good.
for us. You know?
Okay, these late games aren't too terrible then.
No. I just wanted to show the support for you guys. Staying up in the middle of the night to watch the Mavs play.
Sir, you mean nice? You started off with a nice Mavs win in your morning, have your coffee, and watch some good basketball.
Yes. I feel kind of related to that.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect this season the way it's going that Luka will now be winning second night of back-to-back games in Denver just after dismantling the Suns the previous night, scoring a triple-double as the starting center. And so this is pretty mind-boggling for me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, it's good to win in Denver, especially on a back-to-back. And it's good to see the Mavs finally figuring out what they are, if they are figuring out what they are.
Oh, man. It's just hitting shots is such a cure. I still don't know if they've fixed anything. It's just they seem to have to win a fairly narrow way. How many points did Luka have tonight? Luka had 22. This might be the first win this year where Luka scored under 25.
It is.
So we're 24 games into the season, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But consistency, as one of the guys said before, I think consistency really is the key, because if you have Timmy now playing good for a stretch of games, Luka being Luka, and everybody else chipping in, then it's easier, to play. So if they can keep this up, just contributing, then you can also live through Reggie not scoring any points, and you can also live through Josh, scoring, 16 the previous game and 2 the next game. So maybe slowly but surely they will figure it out, also the roles of the players. What am I supposed to do? What's my role? Because I think in the beginning of the season, Dodo and Reggie, last season, especially in the playoffs, they were the key guys in the team, defending and also scoring a lot. And in this season, they didn't score, and their defense became bad also. But now I think they've kind of grown into their roles. Okay, even if we don't score, we need to defend. On a night like this, I need to score like Dodo did. So maybe they're slowly coming together.
Well, and if we're seeing Luka gets doubled more than anybody else in the league, and he gets doubled further away. He gets picked up from the further away from the basket than anybody else. And what I saw, and I'm seeing more of, is guys doing a little bit more than just standing along the 3-point line waiting for ball reversal. Finding some of the soft spots when you're playing 4-on-3 is going to be key, because it's really the only way you can defend Luka. If you're going to be going on the high screen and roll, you send a guy to hedge, and then you're basically doing a double near the wing. And if the ball reversal is pretty much almost always there, but they need to, that next pass is where the Mavericks have kind of gotten, I don't know, it's either late. I don't want to say it's lazy, because the corner three is always going to be there, but they're finding different ways to score. There's one that felt like a little bit of a busted play where Dorian snuck behind Bones Highland and got like a pass right at the rim for a dunk. We're seeing a little more off-ball movement. I don't know. I like it. I like what I've seen these 3 wins. Hitting the threes loosens up the defense a lot, but it feels good.
Yes, but it's probably not fair, but I just feel that Jason Kidd doesn't coach them, so he just lets them figure it out on the court, and now they're starting to figure it out.
Well,
this is
funny.
my feeling.
One of our normal guys who's not in here tonight, his name's Jordan, he sent me a Slack message, or he sent me a message over Twitter basically saying that he feels like watching the team, that when Kidd does get a little more animated as a coach, the team responds to it.
Yes.
And I know you with 82 games and a whole bunch of stuff going on, you don't want to overcoach a team, but he's Jason Kidd. Like he drives me crazy. He's a coach, but he's still like a Hall of Fame basketball mind. Like seeing him be a little bit more proactive would do wonders for how I feel about the team. Whether or not, my feelings aside matter or not. It's just, I think the team can benefit from more active coaching.
Yes, because I believe the Mavs and also we were used to Rick Carlisle. I had a feeling with Carlisle, he draw the way to the bathroom for every player.
Sure.
So now coming to Keith, he's watching the game like me, here 5,000 miles away.
Well, Elon notes in the chat that he coached a heck of a final minute, and I agree. The not calling the timeout.
That's true.
That until the very last opportunity, it was really good because if they would have been out of timeouts before Tim took the free throws, that would have been an uncomfortable situation. They did some good stuff this game.
Yeah, they did. I won't keep you up any longer. Just one thing. When I remember that JaVale McGee was the biggest signing of the offseason and he didn't play in this game back-to-back in Denver against Jokic, I don't know what to think.
Well, he's the worst signing of the offseason for any team.
Yeah, probably.
We'll not complain about that for one. Well, I already did. Too late. Sorry, Mavs. You make the worst thing. I'm going to make fun of them. But thanks for hanging out tonight. For you in the morning. Appreciate you.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Had a good time.
Good. Katie says, I didn't care for his sassy pregame comments, but he was all right in this game, I guess. She means Jason Kidd. Yeah, Jason Kidd probably reads all comments. Brandon, how we doing tonight? Thanks for joining us again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. It was a good win. It was a lot of fouls called that first half, and, they kind of slowed the game down. And I'm just like, man, I'm glad the Mavs really didn't, get in their heads after all those fouls and kind of fall off the cliff. They played pretty good despite the referees making poor calls.
It really it felt like there's just too much ref involvement. The Mavs got some benefit, the Nuggets got some benefit. I think Mavs honestly got a little more, but it was just weird. And but it's like you said, getting a big win is it's nice to be talking about that instead of complaining about stuff.
Yeah, take it how you get it. And my thing about Reggie, being on the team, to me, I would keep him because what you may find out there may not be what he can really add. Because, looking at the box score for the Mavs and the Nuggets, it's so much of an outlier of who's leading the rebounds for the Mavericks and who's leading assists and even points typically, other games, who's leading in points. But you look at the Nuggets box score, everything's pretty consistent. Everybody gives equal contributions in rebounds, assists, and scoring. You don't get that out of Dallas. And so if you need to get rid of Reggie, you may not get anybody that could provide equally. It'd just be another person.
Plus, I think he'd be selling low. He's shooting so poorly, and his defense is a little wonky. I think there's differing opinions on that. I've been reading the chat, but selling low on a wing is tough because it can really bite you in the ass down the road.
I think the 3-and-D thing, and it's good. I think the 3-and-D thing kind of came back to bite Dallas because if you think about it, nobody can really play with their backs to the goal. You're not going to get any type of post contributions from Dallas, big man or wing. So, and if they did get somebody that could play with their backs to the goal, it's not going to fit into that offense. So, and there's not a lot of guys out there, like you said, it's going to fit that 3-and-D role. You're going to sell low and not get a lot of contributions back. But I would I would work with Reggie and, hopefully once the Mavs get rolling, if the Mavs get rolling, hopefully that'll motivate him to, kind of come around like he did during the playoffs.
He's just got to see the ball go in. It's such a dark, I was never much of a scorer, but it's like things get in your head and you probably it's been so many games of bad shooting. Feel bad at this point.
I remember Kobe. He asked him one time what was going on. Kobe was like, "I got to shoot more." And that's the thing. People, like I said before, they got to have that Kobe mentality. They got to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go out there, and just shoot more and knock them down." It's a mental thing to me. You got to go out there and think Kobe.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You got anything else?
No, that's it, man. Have a good night.
All right, talk soon. All right, then last but not least, Mr. Green, what's happening this evening? How you doing? Give him a sec to find the unmute button there. Yeah, I had a nice time watching.
Can you hear me,
this game
Kirk?
late, but hey, there we are. How you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, mate, what a win. I don't think my heart can take much more of this season.
Well, 17 clutch games so far this year is going to kill me too. So I feel you.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can't believe it took me to come onto your show and passionately remind Tim Hardaway that he used to be our second best player. He has just went on a tear. Look, I have to take my hat off to J Kidd for putting him back in the starting lineup. It's worked. And the way that Doncic started off the season so dominant in the first quarter, I thought he just needed that catch and shoot guy in the backcourt with him, and it worked. And look, hats off to Timmy, man. He's shooting lights out. He's playing well. An excellent strategical double missed three throws at the end of the game. Fantastic work. Yeah. The only thing that I see, and you point out all these clutch games, and obviously we've been taking the L a lot more than the W in these close ones, is I'm not clamoring for Wood to start. He's not that guy. He's good, but he's not that guy. But I tell you what, we are sorely missing an inside presence in the fourth quarter going down the stretch. To lose a 10-point lead in today's game, everything is on the perimeter. It's leading to a lot of turnovers. When you play on the perimeter, you're just so close to stepping out of bounds or getting a deflection,
Well, I hate to rag on Luka, but I have to blame almost all of it on him because, with the previous caller, one of them mentioned Luka driving and dishing for a turnover when he had a 5-foot floater. And then he posts up for 2 straight possessions and takes 2 15-foot fadeaways when he's just been bullying all season into the lane. Like, go draw a foul. Like, the prevent offense stuff is going to kill me at some point. And that's all on Luka because he has the ball the whole time.
But picture that same play with a 6'11" lanky wing flying in for a dunk or attempt at an offensive rebound. Not that Wood offensive rebounds much, but I think that when we go small 5 out with a 10-point lead with 3 minutes to go and Wood's on the bench, it scares the shit out of me because Maxi's not really going to roll to the hoop. He's just going to pop out and spread the floor and leave the room for Luka. But man, Luka's getting gassed, and we just need him on the floor at the end. But I fear what's going to happen at the other end of the floor at the same time. That's true.
And that's obviously
and Aaron
Kidd fears too.
Yeah, and look, Aaron Gordon, man. Imagine if we had an Aaron Gordon. He just seems to be so impactful to me when I watch the Nuggets play. He can make the big defensive play. He blocks out. He can get the dunk. He can roll. He can hit the shots, and that's what I wish Wood could be. But he seems to be more tilted at the offense and less on the defense, and it's really hurting the team in the fourth quarters. I just wish we could find that guy that we could go 4 out and 1 in for the last 4 minutes of the game, because I always see them play 5 out at the end, and that's why we're losing leads.
I just want them to run offense. Like, don't tighten up the team. I mean, not you, but they run. They do something to where they're trying to basically like run the clock out, and I hate it because like everybody knows that Luka's going to take the last shot, and it's like, do something else. You get to 111 points with 4 minutes to go, and then you just stop scoring. What are we doing?
But look, I think Malone's is a good coach. Like, I think he played as well. He made us hit our shots to win the game, and I thought he'd outcoached us before Dodo slapped in that big straight up 3 at the end of the game.
Which
and
big.
You can just
Somebody in Mavs
massive.
Chat said that before tonight, Dorian is shooting 27.8% from above the break threes. So, and he had just missed an open one earlier where like the exact same play. So this is great to see that one go down.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I'm really happy how the team's played over the stretch since Hardaway's went into the starting lineup. I'm just hoping that Christian Wood can pick up his defense to get the trust from Kidd to have him in the last 5 minutes of the game. I think that's I think that's where our ceiling will come from if we can do that. And Maxi share the floor with him at the same time. But other than that, man, great game from THJ. Tough one for the Australian boy.
No, it's fine. Everybody, I'd given up on him too. I really had. I mean, he played terrible for 60 plus games, and now he's just on a tear. It's ridiculous.
But his first possession of the game, I thought, he's coming in. He's going to have a smoking game again tonight, because we don't have that player that can. How would you put it? The defense only thinks he's going to shoot and knows that he's a good shooter this year, and then he just takes it straight to the rim. And I really thought we were in for another big Josh Green game, but they shared it around well, and it's good to see more than 2 starters getting double figures. And really happy with the win, and hoping we can roll the Bucks.
That's right. That's going to be a great game. Another late night game for us here stateside. So I'm not. At least it's a Friday night though. So having to get up and go to work in 5 hours. Ugh. Oh well.
Yeah, well, I'm only 3:00 in the afternoon, so I'm actually going to do some work instead of sitting on the couch and being depressed. Now you don't have to spend the rest of your day pissed like last time. Oh man, last time. It's been a long season already, Kirk. A long season already, mate. But thanks for having me up, mate. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Have a good day. Love that. We've gotten calls from Slovenia, calls from Australia, calls from the East Coast. Just got to get a few more country. We didn't get Ishan in here tonight. Ishan's in India. Love this app. All right, team. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll probably have a different podcast on Thursday if I can get something up. Mavs play back-to-back Friday, Saturday with Milwaukee and then the Bulls, so that should be fun. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Everybody be good. Go Mavs.